Royal Abbott, the hero of the new series Outer Range, is a Wyoming rancher who is struggling to provide for his family and keep his land when he comes across a strange black sinkhole in his pasture. This sinkhole leads to, well, we're not going to give away the ending. Another series, called Raised by Wolves, also has these enormous sinkholes scattered over the exotic planet. This sinkhole scenario seems to be gaining popularity in series that want to frighten the living daylights out of us. But it is only a show on TV. You reassuringly remind yourself. Not at all, in fact. As if we did not already have enough to be worried about, we now have to be concerned about getting swallowed up by a gigantic hole. In this video, we are going to show you some of the biggest, baddest sinkholes caught on camera. Please like and subscribe, and let's go. We start off in Mexico, where the people are no strangers to tunnels. No escaping cartel bosses here, just Mother Nature warning us. Number 5. Santa Maria Zacatepeci Sinkhole. About 70,000 square feet of Mexican farmland in Santa Maria Zacatepeci in the state of Puebla was swallowed by the earth as it is opened into a massive sinkhole in June 2021. Within hours, a 300-foot diameter sinkhole formed from a 15-foot diameter crater. State civil engineers and various other agencies had visited the site and assessed that the groundwater-filled sinkhole is around 60 feet deep. Locals think that the farmland was constructed on what was formerly a big pond known as a jagüey. As with most sinkholes, this one may have been caused by water eroding soft limestone under the farmland. However, environmental officials have also suggested that the occurrence may be tied to the Alto Atoyac subbasin, which is a component of the Balsas River Basin network that covers many states in central Mexico. Over time, the extraction of aquifers may have softened the soil. Number 4. Rapid City Sinkhole. The typical movie scene of suburbia is lots of green lawns and their owners loving mowing them until your lawn falls into a mine. In April 2020, over a dozen properties were evacuated in Black Hawk, South Dakota, when a sinkhole emerged under the Hideaway Hills development. Although the sinkhole had left the people with a great deal of anxiety, it has led to a remarkable discovery. The homes were constructed on an abandoned gypsum mine. The sinkhole ruptured water and sewage pipes, and the resulting leaks enlarged one of the holes to a 40-foot by 50-foot deep cavern. Due to the sinkhole and another one that was located across the street, 6 homes were evacuated. When cave enthusiasts came to investigate the sinkhole, the cavers found that the enormous sinkhole led to an abandoned gypsum mine that was at least 600 feet in length and was riddled with drill and mining machine holes. A member of the caving group recounted a remarkable discovery made in an abandoned mine, a 1951 Ford. Number 3. Berezhniki. See how we didn't say sinkhole? That's because the whole town of Berezhniki is just one giant sinkhole waiting to happen. In the Ural Mountains of Russia, the city of Berezhniki is slowly sinking into the ground. The city of more than 150,000 people was constructed directly on top of a potash mine, as was the norm for the Soviet era. After over a century of mining, vast cavities were left underneath the city. Only walls and pillars of soluble salt support the ceilings of these enormous subterranean tunnels. Before we go further, where did the engineers for this mine get their degrees? In 2006, when a freshwater spring started flowing into the mine 720 to 1,500 feet below the surface, it dissolved the supporting pillars, causing the city to start collapsing. Sinkholes, of which there were numerous in the city, have a substantial impact on the city's residential neighborhoods and businesses. The greatest of these, known as the Grandfather, is approximately 400 meters wide and more than 200 meters deep. It threatens to consume the sole railway line leading to the potash mines. Berezhniki produces around 10% of the world's potash, and the mines are the largest employer in the city. The mine's closure would be disastrous to the local economy. Federal authorities and business leaders are considering whether to transfer the whole city to the solid bedrock on the other bank of the Kama River. Engineers, however, have reassured them that the age of sinkhole development is finished and that no new holes will emerge, since so much of the mine has been inundated. We hope they aren't the same engineers that built the mines in the first place. Approximately 12,000 inhabitants have already fled Berezhniki for safer ground. Number 2. Diceta, Texas Sinkhole. Everything is bigger in Texas, so the saying goes. This sinkhole was no exception. Mining byproducts being pumped under a town? What could go wrong? One big hole, that's what. In May 2008, the residents of Diceta were concerned about the insatiable nature of the sinkhole that was forming in their small town. What began as a hole measuring 20 feet had expanded to 900 feet wide and 260 feet deep within days. Large slabs of dirt, together with the oil field equipment, trees, and cars that were sitting on them, fell into the hole as people and officials watched. Because of the mixture of dirt and oil at the bottom of the sinkhole, it looked like a tar pit. There were around 100 residences near the sinkhole, but there was no recorded loss of life or substantial property damage. The town of Diceta is perched on a salt dome, a geological feature that has been forming deep inside the earth for millions of years. and serving as a reservoir for oil, brine, and natural gas. In the past, Diceta was a thriving oil town, and even today, the terrain is dotted with several operational oil derricks. According to experts, oil drilling over many years may have damaged the salt dome, which ultimately led to its collapse. Another explanation for the sinkhole might be the result of groundwater seeping into the salt dome and dissolving sections of it. Another theory is that the sinkhole is most likely associated with the storing of salty waste underground in the surrounding region. It is necessary to bury the salt water, which is a byproduct of oil extraction, and this salt water is usually pumped underground. This storage method most likely cracked a portion of the salt dome, which caused it to flow out. Our number one sinkhole is like something out of an apocalyptic movie. The combination of a tropical storm, a volcano, and some very bad plumbers caused this almost perfectly round sinkhole that made for some amazing photos and luckily didn't cause a massive loss of life. Number 1. 2010 Guatemala City Sinkhole. On May 30th, 2010, a sinkhole around 65 feet wide and 300 feet deep collapsed in Guatemala City, devouring a 3-story factory. This event was known as the Guatemala City Sinkhole of 2010. Several factors contributed to the formation of the sinkhole, including Tropical Storm Agatha, the eruption of Pacaya volcano, leaking sewer pipes in general. The possibility of sinkholes forming in Guatemala City is rather high, and their location might be difficult to predict. In 2007, another sinkhole of the same nature had collapsed, creating a pit that was 100 meters deep. The sinkhole that occurred in Guatemala City in 2007 was caused by wastewater from a sewer eroding weak deposits of volcanic ash, limestone, and other pyroclastic materials that were located underneath Guatemala City. Several rainstorms also played a part in the collapse of the sinkhole because the rainwater seepage further disintegrates the volcanic materials located underneath Guatemala City. Similar conditions led to the formation of the sinkhole in 2010. The sinkhole is said to have been caused by layers of volcanic pumice eroding over which Guatemala City is constructed. These deposits had not been consolidated and had a low density, which made them susceptible to erosion. On May 24, 2010, Tropical Storm Agatha was officially recognized as a trough of low pressure off the west coast of Costa Rica. On May 29, the depression strengthened into a tropical storm. Later that day, the system gained strength until it made landfall along the border of Mexico and Guatemala with winds of up to 75 kilometers per hour. The torrential rains brought on by the storm caused the subterranean wastewater pipes to burst, which led to the final collapse of the sinkhole. At least one person was killed and surrounding regions were covered in layers of ash when the Pacaya volcano erupted on May 27, 3 days before Agatha became a tropical storm. The volcano is situated around 40 kilometers south of Guatemala City. After Agatha formed, many began to worry that the storm's copious rainfall may make the situation worse, leading to the triggering of landslides and the clogging of subterranean pipes with soot, which would increase the likelihood of pipe ruptures. This perfect storm of events decided to get together over 3 days to cause the most impressive sinkhole ever seen. According to the reports, the earth gave way all of a sudden, bringing down with it a 3-story home that was being used as a factory and possibly a security guard as well. In addition, electric utility lines were pulled down into the enormous sinkhole. Soon after the collapse of the sinkhole, there were intentions to fill it up using mudcrete, which is a kind of soil cement that is formed by combining cement, limestone, and water. On the other hand, a different method, which is known as the graded filter approach by geologists, involves filling the sinkhole with consecutive layers of boulders, smaller pebbles, and gravel. This method has the potential to be a more effective solution. This is because plugging the hole with cement redirects water runoff to other regions, which may increase the likelihood that sinkholes may form in other sections of the city. The practice of using a graduated filter, on the other hand, enables water to slowly soak through the ground without erosion. There are some amazing natural sinkholes on this planet. Some even have their own unique ecosystems encapsulated in them. The sinkholes in this video are predominantly created by man's interference with the natural world. So the next time you see a sinkhole on TV, you know who is to blame: the plumbers or Russian mine engineers. Watch these videos for more. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Subscribe and